Welcome, beautiful souls, back to another episode of Empower Huddle.
Yes.
On What's the Biz 559 podcast. It is so good to see you all this morning. Yes. The show that's all about embracing self-care and empowering you to live your best life through professional and personal development. I'm your host, Nika, and today, of course, I have my beautiful, lovely Nina, life transformational coach, Darnell Rivera.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, how you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you, baby girl?
I'm good.
Yeah, you look good. Look beautiful as always.
Thank you. So do you. I want to be like you when I get older.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not with the credit score I got, but okay.
I hope you had a good weekend.
I did. It was uneventful, which is always nice. You know, I work in a high-level HR position and just having
some crazy folks.
just having the downtime just to relax, catch my breath, and
there you go.
You know, read my books and visit with folks. Nice.
Well, folks, today we're diving into a topic that I love and is so important, as you'll hear me say over and over again.
Absolutely.
Everything we talk about is super important, or we wouldn't talk about it.
That's
but
true.
It's get out of your head, or I'd like to say it, get out your head. Okay? Your cabeza.
Yes.
Our minds are incredible, capable of creating worlds, solving complex problems, and imagining endless possibilities. But sometimes we get stuck in our heads.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Trapped by overthinking and, unfortunately, self-doubt. Today, we're going to explore why it's so important to break free from that mental confinement.
Very important to break free.
I mean, let's just talk about how we are what we think. And that is like, for me, it's so, it's just such a big topic. We are what we think. What and how we think determines our reality.
It sure does. Oh, yeah.
Our minds are so complex, and we're just complex human beings in general, but everything starts with a thought, and it starts in our mind. The way that we think shapes our life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And everything, like, think about this. Everything that we thought of yesterday is our reality today.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. And I like to go back to the first thought of the day.
Yes.
When you open your eyes, what is the first thought of the day that you had? Is it regret? Is it, I got to go back to that boring job?
Oh, my God, yeah.
That sets the tone for your day. I have this thing that's hung on my door that my daughter blessed me with, and it says, choose happy. So every day when I go to turn that doorknob to walk out of my room, I see that. And as I'm walking down the hallway, it's a mental note. I get to choose how my day's going to be.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it may not always be happy and joyful.
No, because you might be going through struggles.
Human,
right.
And we're complex, and whatever happened, I mean, yesterday could have been felt like the worst day ever, or ended the worst day ever.
Right.
But I think the key word is choosing.
Choosing.
Because we all have that choice to choose whether to have a good day or not.
Right.
So I like that. It's just, you know, whether it's choose happy, choose joy. And I think it all just determines on our choice.
Absolutely.
And it all starts in here. We all have unpleasant thoughts that trigger us to react, but pay attention to the patterns that steer your mind away from regrets and unpleasant what ifs.
I like that. Yeah, that's
right.
Good. That's good. So creating happiness in your life may require you to face fear and pain, which often can be a scary place to look at. But we'd like to just encourage you to continue, because these emotions often serve as a guide to a variety of healing that needs to take place. So when we talk about like triggers, when something comes up for you, whether it's an engagement with a stranger that you become overreactive, look at that for yourself. And a lot of times we just go on in life and we just decide that, well, we're just going to decide to be bitchy today because that person set me off. But look at, what was it? Because sometimes taking a deeper dive, you know, because I believe in healthy mental awareness, you know, self-awareness. Look at why those words that landed for you, why was that causing you to be upset?
Right.
Is there something in your life that you need to look at to complete in your life so you can, journey to that healing?
Right.
Because things happen around you for a reason, to really cultivate and really develop your mental health.
And even, when it says creating that happiness, even though, opening up to and paying attention to that, facing your fears and the pain, it is a scary place to open up, especially when they say when you go into therapy and when you go into, a lot of people don't want to do therapy or, counseling
because they're afraid,
because, you have to open up so many doors from your past, but it is scary. But I promise you that the healing and the newness that comes from that in your life is such a remarkable feeling and unreal sometimes, like, oh my God. And it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to be in that space of, wow, like you deserve that happiness. You deserve to be free from the fears that you may have had in your past. And because that's exactly where the healing starts to take place.
And it's not easy, shifting your mindset to, say, a more positive.
But it's possible.
It is possible with practice, just like anything in your life, with practice and really acknowledging, hey, these thoughts are not worthy. I have this thing in my workshop where we look at it. There's like 3 questions we literally ask. Is what I'm saying is true? Is what I'm saying reality? And is what I'm saying productive? To yourself. So when you ask yourself those questions, sometimes if you're honest with yourself and you answer those questions, more than likely than not, it's going to be some dumb shit you're believing. Yeah. Pardon my expression.
No, that's true.
But then again, it goes back to mental health, because if you're someone who loves, because we are literally programmed, and I know a lot of people don't talk about this, but we are literally programmed for negative thoughts. And that is something that is it's scientifically proven. It's in our DNA, right? Because of, caveman, whatever, fight or flight, whatever you want to call it. But it has trickled down into who we are as human beings naturally. But the thing that you have to remember is, because you have the knowledge, you have the self-awareness, you are able to look back and say, oh my God, Darnell, is that really a true thought that you're having about that person?
You better go off.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, love yourself enough to do that.
Yes.
You don't have to be out there fussing and fighting and complaining. Ask yourself, is this thought that I'm holding about that individual true?
Right.
So she looked at me a certain way. Maybe she's having a bad day. Maybe she's going through something. Maybe she's facing some challenges I may not know about. But what do? We take it personal.
Right.
Right? Ask yourself those questions. I talk to myself all the time. Yeah, I do.
Healthy.
I say to myself, Darnell, girl, you need to stop. You need to get out of your head. Come on. This is unreal. And then, or if someone says one thing to us, or if they don't say good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Good Google.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that a big one? Especially in the office place. She don't like me. She's stuck up. She do. No, maybe she just didn't hear you. Hello.
Oh, God. I haven't worked in an office setting in about 10 years, but I can only imagine. Yeah. I'm just thinking about just in my personal life how anything can just trigger. And I really... talking about
family too,
speaking to talking to yourself. It's like in my mind I am going back and forth, and it's like, all right, process the feeling, process that emotion, and move the heck on. Because I'm not about to sit here and waste time feeling sorry for nobody else or feeling sorry for myself. You know what I mean? Right. Like, feeling sorry for myself is a waste of time. Feeling sorry for yourself is a waste of time. And no one is exempt from experiencing hard times or pain and sorrow in life. God, we've experienced that the last few weeks, with just personal situations going on. And, and even just, in my own personal life, I think about all of the things just within 2023. We haven't really talked too much about 2023 as a whole.
It was a tough year.
It was a tough year for so many of us. But you know what? Like I was talking to my husband, and I told him, we've experienced, especially in the last few months of the year, was probably one of the hardest years we've had in a long time. But you know what? I told my husband, I said, that's okay. For one thing it did was humble us, number one. It brought us back down
An
to
awareness comes.
Yes, reality humbled us. We were aware, and we were in the fire for a long time, it felt like, but there's light at each dark tunnel.
Absolutely.
And that's what we got to hold on to.
Absolutely.
Hold on to each other and just keep going.
Yes.
My thing is like, don't stop.
Yep.
Don't stop. Keep going. You learn what you need to learn in the moments, process those feelings, emotions, and just keep, accept it and just keep going.
Yep. Like I always say, and people hear me say this all the time, every breakdown in your life causes a breakthrough.
Yes.
So even in those darkest moments when you're going through detrimental things, and I know 2023 was challenging for you all.
Yes.
It was challenging for us as a family as well. But remember that every breakdown in life causes some kind of breakthrough.
I love that. Yes.
So hold on to that. Definitely.
And drowning in your sorrow.
Don't do that.
Or overthinking all the bad things or the misfortune that it has happened to you. It only causes self-destruction.
Yes.
I'm not going to feel sorry for myself because, and I always think, and I've heard this on and over again too, is, it could, someone else is going through something way worse. And I really do hold on to that because I'm like, you know what?
You do.
I wake up and I'm like, that's gratefulness number one for me, just being able to wake up, and
especially when you think about your babies and the health of their babies.
The tribulations that we're in, it's I woke up this morning, it gives me another chance to fight. Number one, it gives me another chance to have an amazing day. Choosing. Choosing. But drowning in that, it really just causes self-destruction.
Absolutely. And our past does not determine the verdict of who we are or will be. I really like this. We dictate it by choosing how we think about it or by working on a perception of our life.
Again, a choice.
A choice. So you come from maybe a drug-infested family, right? But you literally made the choice to go another direction, whether it's to educate yourself or things like that. I was, love my family, but the upbringing wasn't education. It wasn't important to us. So I kind of, because I'm, one of my strong suits, I like to gain knowledge. So I took it upon myself to go to college,
there you go.
And something begins to shift in your generational stuff. And I know we can probably use that as another topic in our show. But again, I want to repeat this. We dictate it by choosing how we think about it or by working on our perceptions of our life.
Yes. And that all starts in your head. In your head. All of these things. In
your head.
And our feelings are real too. Like I said, when it comes to your feelings and your emotions, process them, be in that moment for just a short while, because if not, you'll end up in self-destruction. Process those feelings because they are real and move forward. And it's a compass, really. Our feelings are a compass to where we should go. And so, happiness has to be an intention. You have to intentionally choose to be happy. It's not something where, because like Nina said earlier, it's one of those things that we weren't naturally born to be positive. We were it's natural for us to be negative or have that negative programmed, to have negative thoughts. So
you got to
fight.
Yes. You got to fight for your right to be happy.
Yes. Right. It's kind of sad, but I know.
I know. You just got to make that choice. And I know it's hard. We're humans. We're structured. I do this thing in my workshop where I show this clean slate, and then here's your life, and then here's all that's poured into you, your parents, your teachers, your peers, your siblings.
Right.
Everybody's pouring into your bowl of life.
Yes.
But you still, because you have the knowledge that you have, especially now with social media, and we've talked about that before, work through those things. Reach out. If you're not comfortable talking to one-on-one with the therapist, I have a friend that she doesn't like to go to therapy, but she'll go to group. And she'll sit there with the same like-minded people that are struggling the same way, and she talks in a group. That works for her.
Yes.
Find out what's going to work for you. And there's so much on social media that can help guide you and lead you.
And a lot of these things may sound, again, like repetitive, and just may sound like we're repeating ourselves. But the more that I scroll down social media, and the more that the people are around me are still in self-destruction, the more we're going to talk about all this positivity, because obviously we need to hear it. when we speak about it, it reminds us to keep staying on this path of personal and professional development.
Yeah.
And there are different kinds of happiness too that we want to share. There's pleasure, and that's pretty much when you find when you go outside and you smile because the sun is shining so bright. That's pleasure that you're feeling, and that's a form of happiness.
Yeah.
Or when you taste something that tastes bomb or bussin', like kids would say,
Bussin'.
or bus.
Bussin'.
Is it
Is
bus
it
or
bus?
bussin'?
I don't know.
Bussin'. That's what my 7-year-old says.
If my grandkids are watching, they're probably saying, "Grandma, be quiet."
Be quiet, yeah.
You don't know what you're saying.
So I'll be quiet with that. If it tastes good, that's a pleasure. That's a form of happiness and finding pleasure. Grace is when you feel grateful for something. There's that word, grateful again. Grateful for what you have, grateful for things that are around you.
Yeah, most definitely. That's again one of my things. I'm just so grateful for just the people that I choose to be around, that bring me so much joy. But excellence, when you strive for something bigger, pursue a purpose and build your identity through that purpose.
Yes.
And I think that's what you did, because you came in, you started this empowerment, and then look at how it's developed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had an idea because it was something you were passionate about. You pursued it, and here we are.
Yes.
And look at, we're touching
Sharing,
folks.
yeah.
We are touching folks.
Sharing just the roadmap and the compass of how you can get to that happiness, and how you can choose to be a better person.
Yeah.
It really just starts with a thought, in your head.
It really does.
It's just,
really
I'm going to
does.
choose, and it's very simple. I'm going to choose to have a good day. I'm going to choose not to let negativity get to me. Yes, I have so many bad things happening in my life right now, but you know what? It is okay.
It is okay. Acknowledge the bad things.
Acknowledge them.
Yeah, and just shift. Decide to shift.
Yeah, acknowledge them, because that's you obviously have to get through it. So you have to acknowledge it, and that's going to be the roadmap for you to get over it. However, at the end, you got to choose to look at things differently.
Absolutely.
So
you'll be less stressed, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Less
Absolutely. Less stress, less pressure, that icky feeling of just, I don't know. I remember feeling like that and being sick and tired of feeling that way.
Yeah.
And that's where the change and the shift happens in your mind. So when you're starting to feel, that ick and that pressure, instead of self-destruction and feeling sorry for yourself, do this. Journal. Journaling is one of the best things that I think writing, just writing, journaling, get everything out of your head and put it down on paper.
Even if it's just one word.
Even if it's just one word or a tear or something. Just get it on paper. Journal and pray, meditate. So we got journaling, we got praying and meditating. If you don't, have a higher calling that you're reaching out to, meditate, close your eyes, be in the moment, turn everything off, get into a quiet space in your house. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. Just get into a space where, you just sit in silence, and just meditate.
Yeah. And daily reminders too. I mean, that's good. I'm people that know me, I frame my reminders. I frame those affirmations that mean a lot to me. I use sticky notes. I have reminders set up in my phone with my affirmation. And then when it goes off, I'll read that affirmation over and over and over again. And that's truly, truly important as well. It is.
And when when you meditate, it's important too, to create, like a 3 to 5 word sentence that you repeat every single morning. Yes, a mantra that you repeat every single morning. My thing is very spiritual. The first second I open up my eyes, I'm thanking God for another day. Yes. It's a habit. It's natural for me to do that. Especially with me I'm teaching my kid how to do it too. So she does it. First thing you can say, she said, "Thank you, Jesus, for waking me up." Aww. And then we go about our day. Yeah. And those things, just again, talked about gratefulness. Doing that has really helped shape my days to be better. No matter what I face, I know I'm grateful for being alive and being healthy. And we don't share these tips with you because we think everyone's walking around the world in the mud. No, we just share what has worked for us. And absolutely.
Danica, as you know, she was my goddaughter, and we have a lot in common as far as like our development in upbringing, right? And I think we connect there as well. But we share things that we've taken on in our life that work for us. And it's not, you know, we're not mental health experts. So let me repeat that disclaimer again. We just are sharing with you what works for us and encouraging you so you can go out into the world and be the best that you can be.
Right. So, as we wrap up today's episode, remember that getting out of your head is an ongoing journey. It's about embracing the present, learning from the past, and stepping boldly into the future. Treat your mind as if it is a sacred place.
Yes,
Not every thought that comes in your mind is meant to stay. So, get it out of your head, get it down on paper, pray and meditate, and continue with your daily reminders and continue on with your personal journey. Thank you for rocking with us today.
Thanks, guys.
We wish you a peaceful and blessed week. Love you all.